Living beyond your means never ends well. It's a common money hiccup we can easily stumble into, living a bit too large for our wallets. When our spending gets a little out of control or those essential bills seem to be growing too quickly, it can feel tricky trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Well, we've got your back. In this video, we'll give you a list of 15 telltale signs that might be telling you, hey, slow down a bit. We're not just pointing fingers though, we'll throw in some awesome advice to help you get back on track. Let's get started. Sign number 1, barely scraping by with minimum credit card payments. This is a huge clue you might be stretching your budget too thin. Accumulating credit card debt is a red flag, and if you're stuck in a cycle where catching up feels like a distant dream, it's time to hit the brakes. While the occasional splurge is okay, if you're consistently making purchases that haunt your finances for months, it's a sign to pump the brakes and give your budget some breathing room. Sign number 2, swiping that credit card for a vacation. If you're swiping your card to fund those epic getaways without the ability to pay it off, you're overspending, and you're compounding on sign number 1. Relying on credit cards for vacations can lead to some serious headaches and financial stress. Instead, try squirreling away a small chunk of cash each month into a savings account. With consistent small deposits, you'll see your travel fund grow, making that dream destination a reality without the stress. Sign number 3, spotting a stall in your savings. If you don't feel like you're seeing your savings increase, it could be a sign you're going a tad heavy on the spending side. Tossing a little love into your savings regularly isn't just for peace of mind, it's your safety net for life's unexpected curveballs. So before you hit that shopping spree for your latest wish list items, how about diverting some of those funds into your savings? That way, you're giving your future self a high five for being financially smart. Sign number 4, you've hit pause on your retirement contributions. Life happens and money gets tight. There's no shame in needing to pause contributions, but unless you're aiming for a forever work gig, prioritizing retirement planning is key. To get back on track, look over that handy budget. Remember, a budget is not about saying no to everything. It's about finding a smart way to spend that still paves the way to your financial goals. A budget makes your money work for you in the long run. Sign number 5, you're stuck in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. If you're constantly on the edge between paychecks, it's a clear signal that your spending might be outpacing your income. It's time to shake things up by rethinking where your money goes and how fast it's flying out. This requires that you track your expenses. You need to turn into an investigator and take a hard look at what's leaving your accounts. Prioritize your most important expenses first, and then slowly see what other transactions can be minimized or removed entirely. Sign number 6, your money is gone before you can say hello. Ever had that moment when your money mysteriously disappears and you're left scratching your head? Well, the money didn't exactly disappear, you spent it. You just can't remember when and how, and that is a classic sign of overspending. Here's what you could do. Try using a budgeting app. It not only helps you keep tabs on where your cash is going, but it can also give you prompts and notifications so that you're aware of when and how much is being spent. This can ultimately make you more aware of high spend days in your month, and you can adjust accordingly. Sign number 7, your outstanding debt remains unchanged. If your debt amount isn't decreasing or is in fact increasing, you may be spending too much. Ignoring unpaid debts can lead to accumulating interest, which is never in your favor. Instead of putting off payments, set a limit on how much debt you're willing to take on and create a plan to chip away at it bit by bit each month. There are various strategies like the debt avalanche and debt snowball methods that can help you tackle and conquer your debts. Sign number 8, managing your monthly expenses is a struggle. If keeping up with monthly payments feels like a constant battle, whether it's bills, loans, or mortgages, it might be a sign to reassess your spending habits. It's time to simplify as much as possible. There will obviously be some items that you will have to pay, like rent, gas, and food. But here's where you try to minimize how many things you're paying for. Adopting a minimalistic lifestyle can help you get control of all of those expenses. Sign number 9, considering a high-interest loan. If you're thinking about a high-interest loan like a payday loan, especially if you're already struggling to maintain your monthly bills, this could be a big financial risk and a sign of overspending. Instead of opting for the first loan available, pause and see your alternatives. Question why you need the loan and consider if there are other ways to secure the funds you require. Consider reaching out to your bank and speaking to a financial expert, as they may have ideas you've not thought about. If there is enough time, try side hustles or freelance gigs, as they might offer a better solution without the pitfalls of high-interest loans. Sign number 10, you're buying things you can't immediately pay for. If you're snagged in the habit of buying things you can't pay for in cash, maxing out that credit card month after month, that's a terrible habit for your financial well-being and another sign you're pushing your financial button to the limits. Instead, if it's a necessity, start setting aside a portion of your income regularly to cover those expenses. And when it's more about treating yourself to wish list items, keep in mind that the joy of financial security beats any material possession. Sign number 11, making excuses for impulsive purchases. We often convince ourselves that we absolutely need that new phone, the latest home gadget, or a fancy dress for happiness, even when deep down we know it's not true. Falling into the trap of retail therapy and justifying unnecessary spending is a common struggle and another telltale sign. Instead of finding reasons to buy things, consider shifting your mindset towards building a savings habit. Define clear financial goals and regularly track your progress. This way, you can reframe the question from "Do I need this?" to "Does this bring me joy now, or would I rather invest in that important thing I'm saving up for in the future?" Sign number 12, you're neglecting your bills. Juggling bills like a game of hide and seek won't make them magically disappear. Dodging them only adds to the stress. Instead of playing pretend, devise a strategy to conquer your bills. Consider negotiating lower monthly costs or finding straightforward ways to reduce those bills. Take small steps toward paying them off and then develop strategies on how you'll pay them going forward, whether it's paying small amounts from your budget regularly or putting money aside to pay for it at set intervals. Sign number 13, you're being chased by debt collectors. If those collection calls keep buzzing, it's a sign that unpaid stuff is piling up. And it's not just about the money, it's about how you're managing it. And if you're dodging their calls, then most likely, you're not doing a good job. First off, figure out why they're calling and if you can swing a quick payback. If not, look into chatting with them about a payment plan. Whatever you do, don't brush off those calls. Dealing with the debts now beats the long-term stress. Sign number 14, your credit score has taken a dive downward. After a few months of juggling debt or letting bills slide, your credit score can and often will take a hit. Don't underestimate the power of a good credit score. It's your ticket to buying a home, getting a car, or even snagging a new credit card without absurd interest rates. If you notice your score dropping, figure out why and then take steps to fix it. Maybe it's just about tightening up your budget and nailing those monthly payments on time. Or you might need a hand from a credit repair company if things are a bit more complicated. Remember, you can always get professional help to assist or give advice. Sign number 15, financial worries are keeping you up at night. If money worries are keeping you tossing and turning at night, be it unpaid bills or the paycheck struggle, it's not just hitting your wallet, it's messing with your well-being too. Of course, we're up for personal self-care, but let's not forget the important part, financial well-being. Fortunately, you can change this, and if that's what you want to do, then the steps are relatively easy, but it requires commitment. Take a deep dive into your finances, figure out where things are stressing you out, and commit to fixing them. Track your expenses and work on ensuring that you can spend less than you earn. This may mean getting a second job or taking up a side hustle. Working on curbing your overspending will help you say goodbye to sleepless nights. Even if things seem fine for a bit, overspending has a sneaky way of catching up with you. Don't fall into that trap. Start using a budget that's actually usable, one that covers your bills, gets you closer to your money goals, and, of course, lets you treat yourself every now and then. You've got this. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. See you in the next one.